This is Papa Smurf. You're listening to Our Lifestyle, the podcast, with ODB and the mayor.
Yo, 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 it's Our Lifestyle, the podcast, episode 170. Man, we say this every time, but we have a lot to talk about. We're going to jump right in it, but first we got Biggity Mike, the mayor. I think he's still doing okay, Mike. Are you, did you get through the binging of the Super Bowl, man? You good over there still?
Dude, I'm still like, all I can see is Shakira's ass. I close my eyes, and that's all I can see is Shakira's ass and J-Lo, and then just think about all those jealous-ass white women out there that are still complaining because of the Super Bowl halftime show, and their poor kids had to witness that and see that, and I don't know, man. I think I'll be all right. I think I'm going to make it. But, you know, all those poor white women with no ass complaining about J-Lo and Shakira shaking their ass on a pole. Man, it was a beautiful thing. That's all I can say.
Well, it was Miami as well. And you can't forget the tongue-flicking gesture that was memed many times. And it was actually like an Arab tradition. So, dude, man, I know you were talking about the ass, but dude, you had the tongue deal going on too. So I didn't know if that got you going or whatever your deal is.
No, because I didn't want to get in, to my personal, stuff. But, that, yeah, I guess it did get me going a little bit. But I didn't want to go that far, with it. But the ass, for sure, that was definitely the highlight of the Super Bowl. But all in all, it was a pretty damn good game, too, brother.
It was, man, and we're going to talk about it. What's really got me going right now is Orange Beach Invasion, which is going down smack dab in the middle of March. You named it, or you got it, March 13th through the 15th there in, it's simple, Orange Beach, Alabama. Spectators are free. You can go to orangebeachinvasion.com. Go there now to pre-register. Once you pre-register, you're locked in. If you want one of those few remaining premier spots, you got to hit up Mr. Greg Miller. But once you go to orangebeachinvasion.com, you'll click on register, and it's that simple. Attendee information, it's $75. It is a beautiful venue, and you will not go wrong. We will be there. Come up, slap hands with us. So big shout-out to Custom Car Show Productions, one of our title sponsors. Mike, on this episode, we also kind of want to reinforce the title of it. Not only do we have the homie Corey, who you guys recently heard from Mini Truck Showdown. He's back. He's got a few more updates related to the show, which is a weekend away there in Bakersfield, California. We also have Donna Mahaney Patrick. She also joins us during that same call and talks about the partnership that she has going with Corey and Mini Truck Showdown. And then, oh, by the way, she talks about the Sean Mahaney Foundation, which is very near and dear to our hearts. We love what she's doing. She's got this vision with Sean Patrick, and they're continuing it, kind of that vision that they've had, going back to Sean Mahaney, rest in peace. So much more to come on this episode. But, Mike, before we kind of jump right into the last episode, man, besides the Super Bowl, how's everything else going?
Dude, life is good. It's been absolutely beautiful down here in good old Southwest Florida. I got to give the weather report, so sorry, guys, because I know it's been miserable and cold everywhere else. But here in Florida, it's gorgeous, guys. And with that being said, I think we got up to a high of 70 today. So you cannot complain about that for sure. And, dude, life is good. We just spent the whole weekend with our daughter up in Orlando, and we got back just in time to sit down, chill, and watch the Super Bowl. So definitely, counting down the days to after dark, which is right around the corner. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing all my mini trucking friends.
It's going to be a great weekend next weekend here in the Clearwater area with After Dark. So we're looking forward to it. I'm just glad, Mike. I mean, I'm not making a joke about this, so don't get me wrong, but when you go to kind of some of the different Weather Channel websites and you look at also some of the news sites, that coronavirus is, that's kind of the talk of the town. And I just saw an article earlier that said 10 cruise ship passengers test positive for it. So I'm just glad that so far so good. We haven't seen that around here.
Yeah, thank God.
Now, I would say don't go on a cruise anytime soon, or don't travel, abroad. So, keep it here, and hopefully this thing or whatever it is, or however big it gets to be, hopefully it's curbed pretty quick.
Yeah, you ain't lying, brother, because that stuff is no joke. So I would definitely stick to the Hennessy and the Heineken, and give up the Corona.
Yeah, real deal, man. And we're gonna kind of mix in a few of the shows throughout the episodes. And I wanted to kind of early on, because we often talk about this later in the podcast. We just talked about Orange Beach Invasion, which we're all excited to go to. If you're in one of those northern states and you want to come down for the weekend, again, it's free to spectate. Or better yet, drive down, register your vehicle. The wharf is a wonderful location. But I also want to kind of jump ahead to May and just give a huge shout out to Made of Steel show. You guys have heard us, if you listen all the way through, you've heard us talk about Made of Steel show. It's at the Hillsborough County Fairgrounds. And it's exactly 2 months after Orange Beach Invasion. It's May 15th and 16th, 2020 at the Hillsborough County Fairgrounds. They're also available on Instagram as well as Facebook. Look up Made of Steel Show. There's also information on Facebook on how to pre-register. It's super simple. You just PayPal the money over to their PayPal address, and you're set to go. Again, Made of Steel Show, Goat and Tank. They do a lot for the scene. They go to a lot of shows. They've traveled east to west, and we will be out there supporting those that support the scene. So big ups to Tank and Goat. But Mike, I wanted to kind of move into the last episode 169. Man, what'd you think, brother?
Dude, how can you not think nothing but good things when you got Radar and Lonnie on and talking about how they're getting ready to host 2,000 of their closest friends, and of course I say 2,000 of their closest friends. It's going to be way more than that, but 2,000 registered vehicles and 126 vendors. I mean, it's unheard of, and I cannot wait until OLP will be there. I look so forward to it. Make sure you guys come by and stop by, check out our booth, and get some new threads.
Yeah, we're gonna have plenty of awesome stuff out there. We'll have some deals. We sometimes do some show specials, so we're looking forward to that. What did you think of the episode artwork, though, Mike? We had Mr. Lonnie was still tipping with some Mike Jones. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Always enjoy and look forward to seeing the artwork that you come up with. I didn't realize that Lonnie or Radar had that much hair to really, to tell you the truth.
Well, I tell you, man, I love the hat that he had on. And, man, he told me one day, he said he was still tipping on them 4.4s with even with Schlongbed. The Ford, he recently got the plaque up on his wall, and it looks damn good. But I know he's still tipping over there.
Oh, man. I tell you what, I think they might just wait till after LST, and then they'll get back to it after the show.
Right. So
because I think they're gonna need it.
Well, what will you tell everyone is, if you're a new listener, thank you. Go back and listen. Whether you're on Podbean or Apple Podcasts, you can easily go back. With 15, 20 shows with Podbean, you can actually go all the way back to the beginning. So go back, listen to episode 169 if you're a new listener. We talk about Lone Star Throwdown, which is in 2 weekends in Conroe, Texas. However, we talk about so many other things, so don't judge an OLP episode by its title name, so to speak. You want to go out there, you want to listen through, because as the listeners would tell you, we cover a lot of different stuff. Sometimes Mike even tells me it's too damn much. He goes, "Yo, Jay, you need to pump the brakes." I go, "Dude, you got no brakes, man." So you guys know how we do. But, Mike, we're going to move into the general updates. This is brought to you by Hammered Weekend Wear. That's HAMMERED MMERD, weekendwear.com. You can visit there. They've got a couple new shirts, including Cranberry, and then the East versus West, which is Graham Hancock's Nissan Titan Dually. Go out to hammeredweekendwear.com. They've got everything from shoes to banners to hoodies. Hook them up. Hook up your family. Hook up your friends. Hook up your club mates. Hammered Weekend Wear. So, Mike, I'll let you start this. What kind of just general shit you got going on, man, besides the Super Bowl, which we're going to get to?
Well, general shit, man. I keep getting text messages and pictures from my boy Ryan over at ProFab, and man, he's got me so damn excited about my truck, man. And I'm making a post about trying to find a new bed, and definitely want to thank everybody from sending me the messages about locating a bed. I think I got one, and it's right there in Orlando, right down the road from where Ryan's at. So let's hope this guy comes through. If not, I see all you guys out there. I will definitely be getting back to you, and hopefully we can get this bed and throw it on there. And of course, he's gonna have to make some adjustments. But dude, I'm just getting excited, man. It's been a while, and definitely looking forward to cruising this damn thing.
I know that you are as excited as you are about cruising the Mazda. I'd say equally excited about cruising my '64 Lincoln. I've had some hiccups. I recently posted the episode 12 of Lincoln Attic podcast, and I talk a little bit about the hiccup I had. It's been about a month. I haven't shared much about it, and I've just been waiting for it to get into the transmission shop. So, Mike, I know how you feel, man. It's that calm before the storm. You're like, dude, I just want to get out there and cruise and have a good time. And, again, I'm in the same boat, I would say.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And, and then, of course, you talked about Hammered Weekend Wear. I just got all my new gear from Hammered Weekend Wear. And then, of course, we can't forget Mini Garage. Just got the new hat, the new shirt, the stickers. So make sure you guys are out there following the guys and like and subscribe there on YouTube. And follow that YouTube channel, and you might see some OLP swag up in those videos as well.
Definitely, man. They're doing some cool stuff, and I love the gear. They're paying homage to Mini Truckin, kind of that last logo, if you will, that they had. And but they're forming their own lane. They're coming out with their own content. They're not kind of stepping on any toes. So always love when someone does that. And what those guys are doing, they've commented back a couple times on our YouTube posts. So big ups to Mini Garage. Go out there, follow them. Their subscriber base is what is it, Mike? It's on the what?
It's on the rise.
We're gonna get Mike to get a little bit of more some Barry White. So it's on the rise. Behind that, Mike. No, just messing with you. So next we got the podcast updates brought to you by our friends at the West Coast Influence. Todd Hendricks spent his own money and executive produced the mini truck film, which is the West Coast Influence. It's very simple. You've heard me say it before. I know some of you guys are kind of going, I don't know. Go to minitruckfilm.com. Even if you don't want to splurge on it yourself, buy it for your significant other, maybe for a birthday or a holiday gift. minitruckfilm.com. Hit them up. It's a Blu-ray DVD, and as Mike likes to say, they do have a couple of custom Hot Wheels out there still available. So let them know that OLP sent you. You never know, you might get an extra sticker. But Mike, man, dude, we're working on some new merchandise, but man, let's not get too far ahead. Did you see the email that we got earlier today from Graphic Disorder?
Yes, I did. And I was definitely excited about it. And actually, talking about Graphic Disorder, I hope everybody, because I know Jason shared it, he put the post up, the video Graphic Disorder put out of our new shirt, and the whole process is just fucking unbelievable, dude. What a hell, that's a hell of a setup, a shop that they have there. And I couldn't have been more thrilled watching our shirts go across that press, and to know the email that we got today that they are going to be delivered very, very soon. Can't wait.
Super excited about it. It's always awesome when you work with a company, as we mentioned, with Graphic Disorder, because it's simple. You communicate with them via email, so everything is right there. It's up front. There's no kind of surprises, surprise timelines. They look at their calendar and said, hey, this is where we're at. if you tell them in advance when you're working with them on the artwork, so to speak, you can kind of let them know, like, hey, this is what we're kind of looking at, and then Brant will come back and go, look, man, it's not possible, or hey, no problem, we can make that happen. So it's super simple. And to your point, Mike, we had not only the artwork when they said they would, we also then told them our timeline for the pre-sale, and I think it's a record for us that literally by the time the pre-sale ended, we tallied the numbers, we paid, which that's important. They were printed within 7 days, and they're already going to be shipped. And, I mean, if you add a couple days to that 7 days, we're going to have them in hand, which is just unheard of. So thanks to the team over at Graphic Disorder. You could follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, now on YouTube.
You know, Jay, you say that, we paid the pre-order, all that stuff. Let's not get it twisted, man. I don't know what you guys were going on about 48 and pre-order of 48 or ordered 48 shirts or whatever. But, dude, we ordered 52. So I wasn't sure if you guys got your numbers mixed up on what we ordered or what we pre-ordered or whatever it was, but it was number 52. It wasn't 48. So I don't want people thinking we only ordered 48 when we ordered 52.
well, that's funny that you say that, because the inside joke there is, we've seen people that kind of say, well, we don't do a pre-order over here because we want you guys to rock our shirts. We don't want you waiting 6 weeks or whatever. Listen, it's kind of like an iPhone. You buy an iPhone early on. Sometimes you luck out, you get them in a week. You sometimes get them, depending on the make and model, it's 4 or 6 weeks out. But to kind of take that shot, you're actually taking a shot at the people that produce your own shirts, dude, right? So I would say pipe it down a little bit and just know that if you work back with Graphic Disorder on a solid timeline of what you need, more than likely you're going to get, what you need, in terms of the timeline. So I say that because a pre-order is very smart for us to do, and for any company, because if you look into the business side of it, nobody wants to sit on inventory, and you can say, hey, yeah, we ordered 1,000 shirts, and we sell them all, man, because we're the coolest thing around. At the end of the day, there's a lot of brands out there. We thank everyone for the purchases. I mean, we've seen increased sales with each of these shirts, but the inside joke was there that, again, there's some people that want to say they don't do a pre-sale, but they order a low amount of shirts, okay? Yeah, you can order 20 or 30 or 40 shirts and kind of walk around with your chest out like you're the man, but, dude, it's, just stay in your own lane, because at the end of the day, that's fine. There's smaller brands out there. We were a small brand. I think we still are for many years, right, Mike? So what we've done is we've just kind of carved our own lane and said, look, we're going to stay in it, and, we're going to produce stuff that we think is cool, and if you guys like it, then, like Pac said in one of his songs, we're going to continue to supply as long as you motherfuckers buy. You know what I mean? So, and I mean and I mean the MF with like respect. So as long as you guys out there love it and support it, we're going to do it. But we're not going to take shots at other people for doing pre-sales, because the same people that said, oh, we don't do pre-sales, they didn't have any talls or bigger sizes. And Mike, as much as we love our mini truckers, man, there's some damn big mini truckers out there, right?
Yes, they are.
So you must not have been mini trucking too long if you ain't got no 4XLs and some talls. You know what I mean? So that's just that's our little inside joke there. But
gotcha. Okay, so it wasn't about us then. Okay, I got it now. I'm good.
So we're also working on some other things, and as you guys know, we talked about last year, trying to have that mix of like a premium, what we call our flagship type shirt, like a River Run, a Cha-Ching. Those are our higher color counts, real nice high-end shirts. You guys pay a little bit more for those, and we certainly appreciate you guys splurging. But we're also kind of working on that mix, right? Because we want to have those hat prices, and we want to have some different shirts that you guys could buy throughout the year without breaking the bank, so to speak. So we've got those in the mix. But as we go to these different shows, we're planning out, what we can launch. And then we've also seen some people use that LST pickup code, which is, Mike, still available. And that's important because we're moving into this online shopping world. And it's like, look, man, $6 or $7 for a shirt, that adds to the cost. If you're going to be at that show, dude, why not just hand it over to you there? So LST pickup, if you're going to be at LST, you do have to come by, kind of that in-store pickup. And we're really looking forward to slapping hands with you guys.
Yes, sir. And hey, with that being said, you will find OLP booth right there. As soon as you walk through Spectator Gate, you walk straight ahead. There's the ticket booth that's up there. We're going to have all of our podcast stuff set up inside there so we can record and bring guests in and talk to them. And so it's quiet inside there. And then we'll have our booth set up right there outside of that.
Can't wait, man. It's going to be great. And as we get closer, we'll start to post a little bit more about, again, to Mike's point, the physical location, and kind of just reinforce that. That way, to Mike's point, you can find us easily. We might have to get that 100-foot flag that we want to get and put it up there. I don't know if we're allowed to do that, but, it's going to be on a drone, and it's going to be flying, and I think Lonnie and Raider are fine with that, right?
Well, hey, if we want to be bigger than the actual Texas flag that flies there, we probably got to go at least 125 feet.
Well, I'm not going there, dude. Everything's bigger in Texas, man. They'll be beating our asses down. You know what I mean?
And that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so real deal. And then I think we briefly hit on it with that kind of crazy banner we got into. You can also go to YouTube and type in Graphic Disorder. They are on the rise with their video content, and we're so gracious that Brant and the team took the time to take some video, which is one thing, okay? Anybody can walk around with a phone, a nice camera, a GoPro, and take the video, but then to sit down, import it, and edit it, thank you guys so much. They did a video that's like 6 or 7 minutes that showed the process of, I think, the 9-color prints. It shows their world-class operation there in Tennessee. And then, of course, the entire video was centered around OLP shirt, cha-ching. So thank you guys so much for, showing us some love. So, Mike, next, we got the Airhead Nation updates. This is brought to you by our friends over at Colorado Custom Wheels. You can go to coloradocustom.com, see their brand new website, or follow them on Instagram. It's actually CC Cycle Wheels, which is their AKA. So, Colorado Custom is CC Cycle Wheels. Give them a follow if you're looking for a custom billet rearview mirror, steering wheel, wheels, of course, motorcycle wheels, you name it. I know Jay Church is a big supporter of Colorado Custom. Get out there, follow them, spend your money with a company that makes their product in the United States, okay? I've been to the Lincolns. They do a great, awesome wheel. There are other companies out there trying to kind of break in, and they're making their wheels overseas. Nothing wrong with that, but I'd rather support those that are supporting here in America. So, Mike, we got the Airhead Nation updates, and this one's actually, I kind of mentioned Jay Church a moment ago. I think, is maybe on my mind there. And Jay, have you seen his BMX collection? BMX bike collection is on the rise.
Yes, it is, because I believe me and you were just talking about this before we started recording. Looks like he's building a mongoose for his son Jackson. So he's adding another one to the collection.
Yeah, he is. And I would tell you, if you're not on Facebook, go out there. Or, excuse me, if you're not following him on Facebook, go out and search Jay Church. Also, he's on Instagram. Just type in Hollywood. You'll see it kind of pop up there, Hollywood NC. Now, he does have, I think, a private account. So when you type in Hollywood on Instagram, you'll see it pop up there. And give him a follow. He has been sharing some cool photos in the BMX Museum group on Facebook as well, which includes that rad Crew Jones tribute bike, I'll call it. So very cool. I think he picked up a 91 GT Performer as well. Really awesome colorway. And love to see his passion. He's actually going to bring some of those bikes out, hopefully both of those, at Relaxin' on the Ranch, Mike. And that's coming up here. We're at the very end of February.
Absolutely. And since you brought up Relax on the Ranch, don't forget OLP will be in the house, and we are hosting the Cornhole Tournament. So make sure you guys stop by the booth on Saturday and sign up. We are going to have some trophies from our boy Josh Welch. And, of course, we're going to be slinging some of the hottest swag there at Relax in the Ranch. So definitely look forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. And you can follow him. It's NC Hollywood _256, of course, a previous guest. And he even posted a nice throwback photo when he met Hulk Hogan back in 2014. But, again, to your point, he's building some cool bikes. And we're looking forward to getting out there and hanging out at Relaxin' on the Ranch. And speaking of that, you can type in Relaxin' on the Ranch all together on Instagram. They have about 220 subscribers. Let's try to increase that. It's brought to you by Relaxed Atmosphere Florida, and the pre-registration is open. One thing that I love that they're doing, Mike, is if you pre-register, they're giving you a shout-out through their social media channels to kind of reinforce who's going to be there. So whether you're a big name or small name or in between, let's get out there too, relaxing on the ranch, which is another brand new show for the state of Florida on February 29th. Okay, so next we got what's trending in social media, Mike, and this one's simple. Okay, Mike, next we got what's trending in social media. This is brought to you by our friends at Garage Gear Clothing. You can visit garagegearclothing.com. You can order items as low as $5. If you're looking to add something to your garage or hook up your significant other or even your child, yes, they have a lot of child sizes. They also have free shipping in the U.S., so go out to garagegearclothing.com, place an order, and let them know that Our Lifestyle, the podcast, sent you. Remember, we just had Crystal on. They'll also be out at Lone Star Throwdown. Slap hands with the homies, pick up some gear, and let them know you're down with OLP. So, Mike, this one's simple, dude. What was the biggest game of the year last Sunday, dude? Simple.
Last Sunday, was it the Puppy Bowl?
I thought you were going to say it was the Bud Bowl, man.
Dude, that was the shit back in the day, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was the shit back in the day. But no, of course, it was the big game. The Doritos commercial was my favorite. I loved the commercials during the big game. And I think there was a halftime booty shaking contest going on as well.
Yeah, there was. And I don't think we could say the SB words because there might be some sort of copyright or something we could get in trouble. So we're not even going to say those three letters. We're just going to say pro football. It was the pro football big game, right?
Yeah, it was the big one.
Right, it was. And we got to talk about this because I want to know, not everyone listens as a sports fan, totally get it, but listen, the majority of you know about the big game, and we're joking about not saying the name. Now we're not going to say it. But the majority of you obviously know the game. You watch it. Someone in your family's got it on. You're having a party. Even if you're not watching it, you're drinking. You're doing something. But, Mike, what did you think of the game overall?
Overall, hats off to the Chiefs. Down 20-10 with, I think it was 11 minutes left. It was either 8 minutes or 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And once again, just like they've done throughout the playoffs, they come back, score 21 consecutive points, and the 49ers had absolutely no answer. And Patrick Mahomes, the youngest quarterback to win the MVP of the NFL and also the MVP for the Super Bowl, all in the same year. So definitely hats off to those guys because it was I really enjoyed it. I don't know why the 49ers stopped running the football, but they did. They decided they wanted to pass the ball, and Chiefs defense said, not going to happen.
Well, here's my take on it. My buddy Dar is a big 49ers fan. We weren't texting during the game. I know we've got some listeners that are big Niners fans. I was pretty certain going through it that they had it wrapped up, man. They had it sewed like Singer. What the challenge was, I think, to me is you get down to the point, just like Atlanta, they had the Patriots, right, in 2016. They had their backs against the wall. And at that point, they had them with the computer models, basically it was like a 97% chance to win. Well, guess what? It was, to your point, 8 or 11 minutes left. The computer model showed the Niners had a 96, it depends who you listen to, either 96 to 97% chance to win. They played solid the whole game. To me, there was a couple big plays, and, I'm trying to remember the exact play that was kind of a turning point, but I kind of felt like, okay, when Kansas City scored, I was like, all right, I tweeted out from the Our Lifestyle, the podcast, Twitter, and I said, look, this is what legends are made of. You go out now as the quarterback for the Niners, and all you got to do is kind of drive down. You want to get a touchdown, possibly, maybe you go for a field goal, you keep that momentum. And dude, they got stuffed, man. They really did. And at that point, I was like, man, there's a glimmer of hope. for the Chiefs, right? I'm not a Chiefs fan. I wasn't really rooting for one particular team, so to speak. And it shifted. And I don't know, do you remember that exact play? A couple of those plays really kind of shifted the game.
Well, the biggest play was that long pass to Tyreek Hill for 40, I believe it was 43 yards for the 43-yard touchdown pass. And it was that 10-play drive. And, drove all the way down the field and boom, scored 7, baby, 20-17. Then San Francisco gets the ball back and they decide they want to pass the ball. And, thrown interception. Frank Clark comes in with the sack on 3rd and long, and they turn the ball back over.
That
after
was a big one, that sack.
Yeah, that was. And they got that sack, and when they got that sack, they were on the field for a minute after the 49ers defense was just on the field for almost 8 minutes, and they got right back on the field, and they turned around and drove the ball right down the field again, and then of course that long run, I think it was like 35 yards or something like that there at the end that pretty much sealed the game for KC.
Well, here's what was a mind-blowing stat. There's 2 of them actually. One was when they had 3rd and 15 and the Chiefs threw it and he got that wide open pass, and I kind of saw the breakdown of it the next day on ESPN. That was the one play that was just like, all right, these guys have a chance. They're not playing around. They're in this beast mode, right, so to speak. And the stat that I heard was that during the season, Mahomes, he was 99. He had like a 99.9% quarterback rating on 3rd and 15 or longer. And I was like, dude, how? 3rd and 15 is hard enough to manage. I mean, 3rd and 10 is hard enough to manage. And obviously, when you got 3rd and 15, you're really backed up or longer. You're kind of in this different mode in terms of, okay, we're going to heave it up. We're not just going to do a little, handoff deal. But there was that, Mike. And then I follow football pretty closely, but I'm not as religious as I was with it, years and years ago. I did not realize the Shanahan connection to the Falcons Super Bowl. And you follow it a lot closer, I think, these days than I do, but, you were probably aware of that.
Well, yeah, because I listen to them, sports radio all the damn time. And the other thing that blew my mind is right there before halftime, they had like a minute and 49 seconds left. They stopped the Kansas City Chiefs. They were getting the ball back, but they didn't use no timeouts. The clock kept going. By the time they got the ball back, they only had like 40 seconds left before halftime. The 49ers did. And then they threw the long ball down the field for like 43-yard completion to the tight end, but then it got called back because of a damn pass interference penalty, which it was the right call. But dude, it sucks.
Yeah, they took a knee. Yeah, they took a knee after that, and I think it was, there was like 15, 20 seconds. But I think like in other circumstances, we've seen it where they're an Aaron Rodgers or someone like Brady, where they'll say, "Hey, listen, man, get a quick throw to the sidelines." And it's nothing against them. I mean, it's like, yeah, at some points you just kind of bow out and you go, "Let's get into the tunnel." But it just seemed like the second half it changed, and to me, I always just want to see a good game at the end of the day. And I think like it wasn't a great game. Like it was kind of like, obviously this is this is front and center. 49ers kind of ruled the first half, Chiefs obviously the fourth quarter. But I think when you look at it, it'll be kind of a classic game because of the comeback and because the Chiefs came down. I think the only team in NFL history to have come from behind victories 3 or more times, or not 3 or more, but 3 times, right, in the playoffs. I just wish they would have had Jim Mora after the game in the Chiefs locker room. Imagine if the coach, like, it got real quiet and all of a sudden Jim Mora comes off and he looks at everyone with that face and goes, Playoffs! You guys just won the fucking Super Bowl. And everybody's going, crazy. But anyways, I mean, again, my buddy Dari texted me late that night. I had already freaking zoned out and went to sleep. I feel for any fans, man. It's this game is not easy, and I think so many players, they take it for granted. They're like, oh, we'll be back next year. It's not the NBA where you're LeBron James going every year. You're not Tom Brady. Not everybody can do that. We've seen the greats of Dan Marino never make it back. So it's the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Lombardi used to have a quote that my dad, would say, and it was along the lines of, it's not that we never fall, but we rise every time we fall, and that's another reason why I love the On the Rise, so much. So.
Oh, absolutely. And hey, I tell you what, like you said before, congratulations to the Chiefs and the fans. It had been 50 years since they've won a Super Bowl. 49ers got like 5, 6, 7, however many Super Bowl rings they got. But dude, the true winners from the weekend in Miami. Do you know who the true winners were from the weekend in Miami?
The bookies or the strip clubs?
The girls at the strip clubs, baby. Did you see the pictures of the strip club? I believe it was called Tootsie's, where there was just money. They were fucking swimming in money on the stages, dude. It was unbelievable. So good. Happy for all those single mothers. They definitely can pay their rent for another month now, for sure.
Well, Mike didn't want me to tell you this, but some of those photos that were floating out of those establishments came from Miggity Mike the Mayor. But we got to say that real quiet because if Mrs. Mayor listens, shit might be going down. You know what I mean?
No. We're safe because she doesn't listen. She shares it, but she doesn't listen.
Okay, good. We're good. But just to jump back on the last thing that I kind of mentioned earlier. So the connection was Shanahan, who is the coach of the Niners. He was also the play caller, offensive coordinator, right, Mike, for the Falcons when they were up 28-3. And again, I know that's a stretch because if you look at it, Andy Reid's been in the league a long time. He was with the Packers. Favre shared a nice photo on Instagram of saying congrats to Andy Reid. Listen, man, if there's anybody that's had some bad luck, dude, this guy lost a Super Bowl with the Eagles. He's had some vicious years and losing. And I thought they were going to maybe lose the wild card game. It was not looking good. So, listen, you can draw all the conclusions you want. I think the Niners have a great team. I think they have a great coach. They're going to be back, I'm sure. I don't know if it'll be next year because the Packers are coming full force. Wink, wink. But we'll see. That's the end of it. But I wanted to ask Mike, what did you think? You kind of mentioned the commercials a little bit. Any favorite one that stood out to you?
Well, my favorite one was the Doritos, man. Sam Elliott with the whole beard thing, the mustache. I thought that one was fucking hilarious. I liked that one. My other favorite one was the salute they gave the American flag, and I really liked that one. And F.U. Kaepernick. But anyway, but another highlight is I loved seeing let's see, Jay-Z and Beyonce sitting for the national anthem. I thought that was real class. Let's see. Oh wait, that wasn't a commercial. I'm sorry. What other commercial? Hey, the Jeep commercial was pretty damn good too. I liked that one.
I did see that one. Maddie and I kind of laughed at that one. That was good.
Let's see. I don't know. What were some of your favorites? Because the Dorito one was definitely my favorite, hands down.
Well, when the commercials come on, I kind of tune my ears off and cover my eyes because I'm like, I don't want to see any of this, marketing. Now, the one that stood out to me the most, and I left my buddy Tony Boss Bolins around third quarter to kind of head home to watch the end of it at home, just because Preston had to get up early the next day, of course, for school. But the one that stood out to me, and I tweeted this out from Our Lifestyle Pod on Twitter, was the Rocket Mortgage. I really like the tie-in. I'm not a huge Marvel comic guy and this and that, and there's so many of the movies. I know they're big hits and people love them, and I enjoy watching them too. The Aquaman one, where he was like a puny little dude, that I don't know what it was, man. We got a huge kick out of that one. We were laughing, Preston and I.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
I remember that one now too.
So there's a few out there. I know there's a few that the one that I missed that I actually watched the next day by accident because I was on YouTube and Maddie was like, "Oh, did you see this one, the Groundhog Day one?" If I would have saw that one real time, that was with Bill Murray, and of course they was it the Jeep commercial?
Yes.
It was. Yeah.
That was the Jeep commercial. Yep.
Yeah, I was getting confused there. So yeah, that was the Jeep commercial, and I did watch that one the next day. And that one was funny because for anyone that loves the Groundhog Day movie, and it was funny when we were leaving, we were yeah, we were starting to head out, and Tony Bosbolin goes, "Hey man, it's kind of chilly out tonight." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, what happened to the Groundhog see at Shadow?" So of course I call Maddie, because Maddie used to go drink and party up where Plexitani Phil. That whole deal goes up in the Pennsylvania area, and they have bonfires, and it's a big party deal and all that. So I called Maddie. I go, "Okay, Tony, I got the utmost expert on Plexitani Phil, Maddie. Did he see his shadow?" And she go, whatever he did or he didn't, whichever one that says spring is right upon us, in a couple weeks. So, that's a big gimmick deal, but it's still fun to always kind of play into it.
Oh, absolutely. But no, all in all, I thought they did a pretty damn good job. So I can't complain. I can't believe the amount of people that spend the amount of money that they spend for these commercials. It's really blows my mind.
Hashtag write-offs, trying to get them taxed.
You are definitely big on these write-offs. That's damn sure.
Write it off. All right, so a little bit of talk there about the big game, and we did it without even saying the SB word. So, I mean, imagine that. But before we get into the scene updates, wanted to just kind of hit on the show schedule. This is brought to you by our friends at All Time Low Magazine. You can visit atlmagazine.com. They just shipped issue 22, and these things are typically selling out. So what I would highly suggest, Mike and I would say, listen, go out there and subscribe. And as I mentioned on the last episode, when you go to atlmagazine.com and you purchase that subscription, it's important that you pay attention to the drop-down. If you don't have that current issue, you're going to want to select that issue as your first issue or potentially hit the drop-down, and then you could start it in the near future with one of those issues. So atlmagazine.com, great people. We also advertise in there, and then we partner with them for the ODB Live and Uncut interviews. So big ups. Love the magazine. So, Mike, this one, let's start off. You kind of hit on it earlier. Next weekend is a big weekend for you, and why don't you cover it, homie?
Next weekend, brother. Can't wait. I've been posting up. I got to give a big shout out, of course, to our title sponsor, Sparkles Detail. We got Feltham Fab. If you guys didn't see Feltham Fab, he painted up the skate deck for a giveaway. He did. We're gonna do a little different this year. We got the game with the Wicked Big Beer Pong game. So you, a partner, come on over to the Sickness Video. They're back, and they are going to have a booth there at After Dark. Get signed up there at their booth, and you're going to compete for the winner is going to get a Feltham Fab, a flask. Got a flask that he painted up, and that is going to go to the winning team. And then he also did the Vier, because Vier is, of course, one of our sponsors as well, and he did a tire stand, painted that up. So definitely shout out to those guys. We got Billy the Kid is painting up a new. I switched out. We had the wagon last time. We're getting rid of the wagon. We got a whole new mini keg is going to be painted up and given away for club participation. We got Welch's Chop Shop did our top 25, our best ofs, our best of show, and he just got done doing our keychains for us. So those are shipping to me. Of course, Sparkles Detail. They did up the koozies, the cups, the After Dark goodie bags. So make sure you guys stop by the Stingray Chevrolet booth there at the show. They are going to have raffle tickets, and they are raffling off a brand new Corvette. Okay, a brand new Corvette will be raffled off, not at our show, but they will have tickets there for sale. And all of it's going right to charity. Stingray's not keeping any of that money. It's all going to charity, but somebody is going to be walking away with the brand new 2020 Vet there in Tampa in Kansas City at the Strawberry Festival, I believe is when it's going to be given away. So definitely check those guys out. Check out our vendors. We're going to have 11 different vendors. I posted up the show shirts, Drop 'Em Where did the show shirts this week. We got two. This is the first time they've ever done this. I got two show shirts. We're going to have the car, and then we're going to have the truck. So you get to pick. Definitely got a shout out to our boy Chad Luke. Is going to make our first annual Anthony Strong Award. We posted that up as well. He's getting it's getting pinstriped right now. So he's gonna be mailing that out to me. So I'll have that here soon. But be on the lookout. Howard, which was Anthony's dad, he will be at the show, and he's going to help us pick the winner for that the first annual Anthony Strong Award, and that will be an annual thing that will be given away. So definitely shout out to Chad for making that, getting involved, making that award for us. Wait till you see this thing. It is fucking it's awesome. And so if any of you guys are looking for some special bead roll pieces, awards, definitely hit up Chad Luke, and he is the man behind that, and he can help you out. But guys, the show starts at 4. Vendor setup starts at 3. Clubs roll in together, park together. There's no sharing spaces, so that's always a thing. Spectators are free, and it's $20 for every vehicle. 20 bucks. That's it. Just have your cash ready. Pay the girls. Get the window sticker slapped on. Definitely need the window sticker on the vehicle. That means you're registered and you're eligible for one of these trophies. We are going to have tons of giveaways. The way these giveaways that we're going to be giving them off stage, throwing them off stage. I got tons of stuff from Modified. I got stuff from Hammered Weekend Wear. We got the Sickness videos. We got After Dark T-shirts we're going to be giving out. So we got all kinds. Stingray Chevrolet hooked us up with hats, all kinds of. So we got tons of giveaways we're going to be giving away, and then we got the bigger giveaways. That what you're going to do, basically go and support the vendors. You're going to get raffle tickets, and off the top of my head, I believe there's 8 raffle items that we're going to be raffling off, and the 8 winners are going to come up and pick what they want, and we might have a little surprise the way we're going to do that. I'm going to talk to the boss, Mrs. Mayor, and see if she's cool with the way I'm thinking about doing it, and it's going to be a little fun too. So definitely come out after dark. Quaker Steak and Lube. Then what we're going to do after the show, we're going to go back to the hotel, which the hotel is connected. It's right there. It's a walking distance to the hotel. We're going to have an after party, and that's sponsored by Scraping the Coast. So make sure you guys check out Scraping the Coast. Hit up the Instagram page, hit up the Facebook page, and make sure y'all are there for the hottest show on the coast. But Scraping the Coast, supplying pizza for the after party, and bring your own drinks. We're going to have the cornhole board set up, and we're going to have a good time in the parking lot over there at the La Quinta behind the show. So definitely look forward to seeing all you guys. Tons of people coming from Georgia, Mississippi, from South Carolina. I can't wait to see all you guys. You know who you are. I don't want to say your name and then you not show up, so I'm not going to say no names. You know who you are. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys from Tennessee, and definitely shout out to the Boons for stopping, picking up my trophies for us, and bringing them to the show. Jay, I can keep going on, but I'm going to shut up now because we got other
time out.
Yes, exactly. I got to breathe. Let me breathe for a moment.
I'm getting some real-time questions that are coming in from all the listeners out there, and I just got to ask. I was going to message these to you, but wanted to kind of first ask, are drones allowed? Are animals caged or unleashed allowed? And how do I pre-register?
Okay, so there is no pre-registration. Drones are definitely allowed because I want you to take as many pictures as possible. And I cannot forget, ODB will be in the house. I'm so excited about it. OLP will be there representing. So make sure y'all stop by because this is going to be the first chance to see the whole. What are we going to have there at After Dark, Jay? I'm so excited for this.
We're going to have the all-new Cha-Ching shirt, and because of some, it's personal stuff, nothing bad, helping out my mom and things like that with just things we got going on in life, I'm not going to be able to make the California trip as I had planned. So with that being said, to Mike's point, the family will be out at Quaker Steak and Lube, and we'll have the new Cha-Ching shirt there. So come by. I know Vic and Dee will be there, Mrs. ODB, Mrs. Mayer. Mike's going to be crazy flying the drones everywhere, so he's not going to be able to be in the booth. But we're looking forward to a damn good time.
Dude, you are not lying, and I can't wait. We're going to have an epic fucking night, guys. So I look forward to it. Like I said, we are going to have tons of fucking giveaways from All Time Low, from Modified, from Hammered, from Sickness Video. We got tons of stuff that we're going to be throwing off stage. Of course, our boy Kevin Sutton's going to be on, the DJing and the ones and the twos and the threes. And I just look forward to seeing all you guys. And I definitely appreciate you guys already, all the support already. And I can't wait to see you guys there.
Real deal. So the same weekend, if you're in Bakersfield, California, you're going to hear the audio from Corey a little bit later. So he's on. We've had him on before. Mini Truck Showdown on Instagram and Facebook. If you're not, if you're on in Killicali and you're not able to make it, it's a big loss because it's going to be a damn good show. And then Lone Star Throwdown, you recently heard from Lonnie and Radar in the last episode. That's the following weekend. So kind of keeping the calendar straight, you have 221 to 223 in Conroe, Texas. You got to be sleeping under a rock not to know. LoneStarThrowdown.com for more information, or Lone Star Throwdown on Instagram or Facebook. Now, we mentioned Relaxing on the Ranch. That's February 29th, so more to come on that. And then Orange Beach Invasion, as we mentioned, is March 13th through the 15th. They're smack dab in the middle of March. Looking forward to the Gulf Coast during spring break. It is straight fire. It's a great time. A lot of good restaurants to eat. Great venue. We're going to have Greg on real soon to talk about some of the key updates, but go to orangebeachinvasion.com. Pre-register. That way you're locked in, and I guarantee you're going to have a damn good time. Come by, slap hands with us. Hopefully we won't be sleeping in a tent. I know there was a little snafu, Mike, with getting our room, but as far as I know, we are going to have roof and shelter for the show, you and I. Just messing. So next we go from Orange Beach Invasion. You basically jump a couple of weeks into the weekend of April 3rd through April 5th, which, Mike, is Sparks in the Park. And do you know where that's located?
Sparks in the Park. I believe that's Niceville, Florida.
It is, and you can go to Sparks in the Park 850. You can follow them on Instagram. Please go out there and follow them. You can also follow them on Facebook for the event page. It's at the Mullet Festival grounds. And yes, you heard that right. I mentioned it last time. Do not cut that hair. Grow those mullets. Party in the back, business in the front. We are going to have a mullet contest, and we are looking forward to it. Sparks in the Park is the hottest show on the Emerald Coast. Let's get ready. Let's get out there. Let's support them. I know there's some other things going on that same weekend, and I know it's going to kind of, pull people in different directions, but the DeCorvers go to a ton of shows. They support the scene. They're great people. They have a beautiful C30. They are good people. Let's get out there. If you're anywhere near the surrounding area, please go onto Google Maps when you get a chance. Look up Niceville, Florida, and see how far it is. If it's a stone's throw where you can make it in several hours, it's going to take us 6 or 7, but we're going. It's going to be a damn good time, April 3rd through the 5th.
And hey, Jay, they just announced KIK will be in attendance there at Sparks in the Park.
It's going to be a damn good time. And if you go, like as I mentioned recently, onto Google Maps and you look at some of the photos, or you just Google the Emerald Coast there, it's a beautiful place. So I think it's going to be a great show. Really looking forward to it. So 2 weeks later, we're at Quaker Steak and Lube in Clearwater, Florida for DIITD, a.k.a. Doing It in the Dark. Mini Madness holding it down. They're going to have us out. We're looking forward to it as well. Such great people. Come out there, slap hands with us, but most importantly, go out there and support the scene. Mini Madness has been doing it a long time. Let's get out there. That is April 18th at the Quaker Steak and Lube. Mike, nobody can say that there's not enough shows going on.
No, sir. Definitely plenty of shows.
So next we have Southeast Mini Nats, which is the following weekend, April 24th through the 26th. We've got a couple scene updates that we'll share there. The thing that I would reinforce and kind of let everyone know is if you're on the fence about going, you need to get out, and get up to Maggie Valley, North Carolina. It's going to be a damn good time. Southeast Mini Nats, Jason Bell, brought to you by AccuAir. Very, very good people. We got to support the scene that supports us. And when you get out there to the 26th annual, you're going to come home that Monday, Tuesday, and you're going to say, dude, it was an epic weekend. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Cannot wait. No. I mean, shit. I just seen the post the other day from our boy Feltham Fab. is doing up the specialty awards, which are some, if you haven't seen them yet, they're fire extinguishers. So I cannot wait to see what Feltham Fab comes up with these fire extinguishers for mini truck nats. It's gonna be awesome.
Straight fire emoji, man. So we do have a few more shows that we want to just briefly hit on. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, man, it's a lot of information. You can DM us. You can message us. We will get you over to our website, ourlifestylepodcast.com. You can go to our official OLP digital calendar. And when you click the link, you're able to subscribe to a digital calendar that has all of these dates. It'll kind of drop that iCal, if you will, into your Android or iPhone device. Now, we have Small Town Throwdown, which is May 23rd. That's here in St. Cloud. Again, it's one of 5 shows that we're really pushing for the state of Florida over the next 3 months or so, 3-4 months, if you will. Then you have Made of Steel, which we talked about earlier, May 15th and 16th. So that's 2 months after Orange Beach Invasion. It's a damn good time. Come out to Made of Steel show. Look them up on Facebook and Instagram. And then Relax It in the Park St. Louis. We've got a lot more information coming. I've been talking to Jay. We got to get him on to talk about some epic stuff that's going to go down May 29th through the 31st. That's the weekend after Memorial Day weekend as far as I've looked on the calendar. So we've got a lot more to talk about coming up with Lowdown, Scraping the Coast, East Tennessee Showdown, Relax It in the Northwest, The Awakening, of course, the Spark Show. But for now, I think we're good, Mike, through May to really reinforce those bad boys.
Absolutely. And hey, dude, the Spark Show there in Tennessee, we got some big news coming with the Spark Show on OLP. Ain't that right, Jay?
Cannot wait, dude. It's going to be huge. Dizzy and Adam are killing it, and they're supporting the scene, and we support them, so big ups to them. Okay,
yes, sir.
Next, we got the scene updates brought to you by Custom Car Show Productions, which, as we mentioned, includes Orange Beach Invasion, After Hours, which is May 16th, Scraping the Coast, which is June 26th through the 28th, and Bayou Showdown, which is November 21st through the 22nd. Each of these shows has additional information on Facebook and or Instagram. They are a part of the Custom Car Show Production family. So, Mike, we have a couple of updates here. The scene updates. All Time Low magazine. Did you get your new issue?
Yes, I did. And I tell you what, once again, Beth Waterman, Rich Waterman, and the whole team absolutely killed this issue. And guys, if you're living under a rock and you have not seen it, if you have not heard about it, guys, just take our word for it. Go out and subscribe. Because like the boss said, Beth, a lot of y'all people were complaining that all of those magazines were shutting down and she doesn't see you on the subscribers list. So guys, get out there, subscribe, support. Guys, these are mini truckers putting out Mini Truckin magazine. Okay, so go out and support and keep these guys in business and keep them around because they are doing a killer job over there on that magazine. What'd you think, Jay?
Well, I thought that the issue was really good. I love it. I think when you look at the events, you see everything from Slamfest, Drop 'em, Bayou Showdown, Last Resort, Sick Nick, Show Me Shake Up, Sparks in the Ozarks, Truck Masters. It's a good homegrown magazine, and that's what you get. You know, you get people that are enthusiasts that want to help.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna interrupt you, Jay. I know it was your time to talk, but dude, you left out Live and Uncut. How can you skip that part?
Well, ODB Live and Uncut. It's it was pretty cool that they put the nod there on the cover. It says Live and Uncut. ODB sits down with our founder, which if you haven't went back and listened to that episode, we actually do audio, but we coupled that with the sit down interview that is a little bit more in depth in terms of some of the answers. So yeah, Mike, man, I appreciate the shout out. So there's just a lot of good content. Everything from VWs in here to great show coverage that we mentioned. You've got ads from really good brands out there. You even have a 93 Dodge Dakota. The Dakotas, as I mentioned recently, they don't get enough love, especially the square body Dakotas. So when you start seeing Dodge Dakotas in a magazine, you're like, damn, all right, these guys know what's up. So keep putting out an awesome magazine, and that Dodge was also on the back cover, brotherly love. So they've got good love for the cars and for the trucks.
Yeah. No, I interrupted you the last time. I didn't want to interrupt you again. I wasn't sure if you were done or not.
So that's kind of the quick flip through. We'll do a video flip through very soon. We want to kind of make sure that everybody gets their copy first. I know they had an extra box come in, so you can go to atlmagazine.com, and hopefully there's still a few issues left for you to order. Additionally, the last episode I mentioned that Graham Hancock's truck is going to be on the cover of the new Street Trucks. Now, Street Trucks is a national publication that you can go to your local supermarket or bookstore and pick up. But listen, if you have to go to the bookstore to buy the magazine or the grocery store, you're missing out because you're spending too much, and it's great that you're supporting the magazine, but you need to subscribe, in my opinion. So if you go out and go to streettrucksmag.com, you can subscribe right there. Get behind a brand that continues to have a good mix between C10s, full-size trucks, minis, you name it. So, Mike, I'm super stoked. I know Graham is a big name. He's out now on the West Coast. He's got a shirt now with Hammered Weekend Wear, but now he has a cover, and the truck looks damn good.
No, dude, another magazine. Make sure you guys go out and support. Okay, Chris and Nicole, ever since they've taken over, Street Trucks have absolutely just done a killer job on bringing Street Trucks back and making it the premier magazine out on the newsstands.
Yeah, it's a great magazine, and we love the commitment that they have. Now, next, we got a couple more updates. So we mentioned Relaxin' in the Park St. Louis. We've got some big announcements coming, as Mike mentioned, but what I would tell you is go to relaxinthepark.com. That's going to throw you to their main website, and from there, you can actually go and you can pre-register for the show. It'll take you over to their big cartel site. It's May 29th through the 31st. There is a Friday night pre-party, but we're also in the works with additional stuff. So I would highly suggest that you drive in or fly in for this show. It's going to be off the charts.
Yes, sir. Definitely looking forward to it and can't wait.
Now, next, we got also, as we alluded to earlier, Relaxin' in the Northwest, The Awakening. They also are opening up their pre-registration. So go out and search Relaxin' in the NW on Facebook. There's more information coming. I talked to Justin the other day. They're planning to be bigger and badder in Oregon this year, so we will also be up there. We hope that you guys can make it out. For those that can't, we will be providing show coverage to you. But again, come out and party with us. There's a link. It's relaxednw.com. It's $30 per person and $10 per vehicle. Trailers are free. Also, get in Thursday. You must pre-register for the Thursday extra cost of $25.
Boom. Don't be left out. This is going to be a damn good time. If you have not seen that artwork for the show shirt, guys, get out there, and if they do a pre-order or if you can't be there, make sure you get one of those show shirts. It's a must-have.
So the last couple updates that we have is one, we know Lone Star Throwdown, as we talked about earlier. They are doing a giveaway with our friends at Vi-Air. So big ups to Morgan and the entire team. Remember, Vi-Air is the heart of your air suspension system. Get out there to Lone Star Throwdown on Instagram to find out more information. Now, we mentioned Mini Truck Nats, or Mini Nats, so to speak, and they have been sending out those really awesome, I'll call it like golden tickets, if you will. And if you were lucky enough to get one, those are a keepsake. Make sure you guys come out. Even if you weren't able to pre-register, make sure you come out to Mini Nats. It's going to be a damn good weekend. Even if you can't get your vehicle into the show, it's still going to be worth partying with us, OLP, and everyone there. Okay, and then I don't know if you saw this, Mike, but Fatty B, did you see what he's got going on, dude? Dude, I'm so happy for him.
No, fill us in, Jay. What's Fatty B got going on?
So a couple days ago, let's call it earlier this week, he posts, in 20 days, I marry my best friend, my ride or die, the love of my life. I can't effing wait. Not too many people get as lucky as I do to find someone who can handle my bullshiz. And he posted that, so give him a follow. He's one of the low bros. You've heard him before on the podcast. It's PHATTYB. Good dude. Appreciate the shout-outs that he always gives. And Mike, he recently picked up a new truck, a Colorado, a green one, from a guy in Florida that helps a lot of people with paint, Richard Edwards' former truck. He finally let it go, man, and now Fatty B has it.
Fatty B's the one that got it. I did see it going and leaving, but I didn't know who it was, where it was going. So, oh, dude, that's awesome.
Fatty B and Low Bros are on the rise, dude. Love it. Keep doing what you do. Really, the only other
Yes, sir.
update that I think I wanted to share is I know Dave Schulman had posted something earlier this week, and he kind of talked about his current submissions for this year's SEMA projects. And the great thing about Dave is, man, he doesn't rest on his laurels, I think is how you say it. He is coming off 2, 3, 4 different years and different builds that are just sick. And he has his mindset on, dude, I want to do something else. And, he has submitted a couple proposals over to Ford. And they kind of are more a little bit along the lines of what Ford might be looking for. And, the sleek approach that he mentions hopefully will appeal to the everyday consumer. So big ups to Dave. I know he's a big listener of the podcast. You can follow him. Type in SHULMAN on Instagram. He also owns Crew Cut with other vehicles, including Precious Metal. So he's a big name here in Florida. He does a lot for the scene. He goes to a lot of shows. He brings his stuff out. So got to give him a huge shout out.
Yes, he does. And definitely look forward to seeing what's next.
Yeah, buddy. And I guess I did think of one more, and I don't know if I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but we did also post our first full flip through on YouTube. So if you go out and search Our Lifestyle Podcast, we have issue 3 of Mini Truckin', which is the numbering system's really wacky, but I kind of explain it in there. I do explain it. So go out. I also posted the link in the I was in a Mini Truckin' car club in the 80s and 90s. So go out there and check it out. If there's enough appetite and support for it, hopefully we'll continue and we'll eventually get through all the issues.
Oh, dude, I know it's going to be there. So I look forward to seeing the rest of them. So definitely keep them coming, Jay. I look forward to seeing it.
Real deal. So we've rambled on a lot, and we've got about 45, I think 50 minutes here of audio coming up with Corey and the awesome Donna Mahaney Patrick doing some great things. Really looking forward to Mini Truck Showdown next weekend. They're going to talk a little bit about an auction that you can get a part of where the proceeds are going to go to charity. So they're doing some big things. But Mike, man, dude, we rambled on. We talked about a lot of cool stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy the banter. We do make a lot of funny joke, ha ha ha. But we try to keep it OG, man. Because Borat sometimes I'm trying to get Borat on for an interview. We might have to very funny joke for everyone. So we'll see.
You know what, though? I don't even know if he's really that big of a star to be coming on Our Lifestyle, the podcast, though, Jay.
Hey, don't you can't act like your head's too big. You know what I mean? Because we're just trying to sell more than 20 shirts. That's all we're trying to do, man.
Hey, we're definitely up to 22 now, so I think we're good. And guys, don't forget. And I did forget this earlier when we talked about the Super. Ooh, I almost said that word.
Oh,
the
boy.
big game, dude. Fast and the Furious 9. Wow. I'm so excited for that one, Jay. I can't wait. I
saw a car flying, and Tony goes, dude, he goes, how unreal is this? The car looks like it's just like flying through the air, and they're just like, nothing's going on. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Dude, Han is alive. That's all I can say.
Dude, yeah, don't even get me going on the movies, man, because you guys won't even believe some of the stuff I'll tell you.
Hey, but Jay, with that being said, man, Airhead Nation,
thanks for the support. You know what I mean?
Dude, absolutely. The support. Go like and follow us Instagram, Facebook. I think didn't we just hit 12,000 real followers, Jay?
We did. We didn't have to pay for any of them.
Oh, dude, what a great feeling being able to keep our money and not having to claim that we got 25,000 fake friends and fake followers. No, it's great.
Real deal, man.
You ain't lying, brother. Well, hey, always good linking up here with you. And look forward to the next one. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. And Airhead Nation, man, stay low.
We at ya.
It's going to be all right.
Hey, and as we mentioned earlier in the podcast, Miggity Mike the Mayor and I mentioned that we've got Corey back on for Mini Truck Showdown, but we also have a special guest, Donna Mahaney Patrick, and we'll just kind of welcome them. How you guys doing?
Pretty chill.
Good. Good over here.
Hey, everything's good. Glad to hear it. I appreciate the flexibility, West Coast. I know, Corey, you're always traveling and stuff, so I appreciate that. Before we get started, I wanted to kind of ask Corey, we had you on recently to talk about Mini Truck Showdown, which is going down this month in Bakersfield, California. But do you have any key updates for us? There's got to be something that you got cooking up.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I mean, we're technically we're about 10 days away from opening the gates to the event, and with everything finally coming to the end of the wraps, getting everything finally dialed in, we finally got the spectator pricing set out. So if people want to come out and check out the event for the day on Saturday, they can. That price is $20 at the gate per entry. Now, kids 12 and under are still free. Mm-hmm. This also gives you an area where you can park your vehicle inside, as we don't have access to parking vehicles on the outside because the law enforcement in Bakersfield will tow your vehicle. And then also we have a special guest coming, a band named Il Tempo. They are a local band that's open for Edema and a few other bigger name bands out here on the West Coast in certain venues, and they're going to be playing Saturday night after the awards and raffles are going on. Other than that, I mean, we're already working on next year's event.
Dang.
And this year's isn't even finished yet.
Yeah, it was kind of like one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future. When they filmed part 2, they filmed part 3 at the same time. They're like, let's just double up here. So I like it. Now, you're also going to have a DJ there, right, on the ones and twos?
Yeah, Roulette from Madhouse FX. He's going to be up on the stage playing all night long, Friday and Saturday. He'll play after the band is done. He'll play all day Saturday while the limbo's going on, while the club games are hosted by Graham at the stage. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be spinning all the favorites that everybody loves to hear at your normal show.
Excellent. And Graham Hancock, as you mentioned, from Mini Madness, of Slamfest fame, he'll be over there, as Corey mentioned. They partnered up, and he's going to be hosting the club games. He definitely, and their whole club, rather, has a lot of kind of a long success in doing the club games with Slamfest. So it's great, Corey, that you synced up with Graham.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a godsend. He reached out to me one day when I was passing through. I posted on Facebook that I was coming through Utah, and he's like, "Hey, you want to get dinner?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" So we met up and we discussed the terms of him coming on board, and he was like, "Hell yeah, I'll do it. Let's do it." So I don't know what he has planned yet, but apparently the games that they host at Slamfest are pretty killer. So we're really looking forward to seeing what he does here for our show.
Well, whatever they end up doing, you got to do one of each of those. Put your head on the baseball bat and spin around 20 times. I've done that one time. That is not easy. I get dizzy pretty quick, so you will have a blast, I tell you that. Now, we also have special guests, and again, Donna Mahaney Patrick, thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
Oh, we're doing good over here. Freezing our butts off, but, it's still winter from what they're telling us.
Yeah, I know. In Florida, the last couple of days, it got pretty chilly. Today was a high of like 72, and I was like, man, why can't it just stay like this?
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Right?
We dropped into the 20s, and I'm over this winter thing, so.
Yeah, I've been rocking my hammered weekend wear zip up the last few days. I felt comfy, man. It's like so nice on the inside of that, and I'm like, man, once I got that on, I'm good. So what I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about, we've seen some recent posts from you, Donna, and I wanted to see if you could talk to us a little bit about the Sean Mahaney Foundation.
Sure. Basically, we put the foundation together after Sean passed in September of 2017. And our biggest wish as a company, before he passed, is that we could just give kids the stuff that they needed, just to play. So, I mean, we build high-end specialty wheelchairs. Our kids are at the skate parks. They're doing 4-foot jumps in their chairs. There's working suspension on them. It's not like, you're thinking of grandma's wheelchair or anything like that. So we've always done that. We had our own designs that are ours specifically, and it is something that's we've been doing for years. And after Sean's passing, I found another fabricator that could do the work for me so I could keep making the chairs. Mm-hmm. And I still have these kids, you know, they're either growing out of the ones that we've already built them or, you know, just fresh on the scene and just starting to learn the sport. So we definitely, you know, there's still a great need for them out there. The problem is, you know, you want to take your kid to the skate park, you know, you buy him a $60 skateboard and hello, have fun. Well, for our kids to go to the skate park, it's about a $6,000 wheelchair just so they can go and be safe and have fun and learn the sport. So, you know, getting that together as a parent is sometimes almost impossible. So I thought, well, you know, let's try and do what, you know, Sean always wanted to do is give away some shit. So basically, you know, we put together some shows in the past and had people come out and, you know, we raised a little money, but just not really enough. And it's because so much goes back into putting on a show, you know, everything going on and the time and the effort all put into it. I thought we were just kind of wasting our efforts when we had, you know, really great sponsors and everything else too. So gearing up with, you know, the Kern County Mini Truck Showdown, you know, talking with Corey about it. And I asked him, I said, you know, can we do some kind of auction or, you know, foundation event within your show? So it's still the show, you know, it's still people coming out, you know, we're getting the same people and we can kind of, you know, cut our costs and make sure that more of this money is going right to what we want it to go to. So we started, you know, hammering out for donations and, you know, art pieces and stuff. We wanted something you can't really get just, you know, going down to the corner store basically. So we got overwhelmed. I mean, everybody from, you know, Hammer, Drop 'em, Switch, you know, little artists, big artists, you know, Rowan Concepts and stuff, they'd all said, hey, I want to be a part of this. So I think we're waiting on the last piece to show up. So everybody has sent their stuff in. We've got it here. We're ready to go. And it's just, you know, overwhelming the amount of things that we're going to have on this auction. And we've decided to take some of the more unusual pieces and make sure to put them online as well. So people will have a chance to also auction online and place bids. And we have one person dedicated to that. So I'm crossing my fingers that this goes as smoothly as I hope it does. But that way, you know, some of our East Coast friends and stuff they see a piece of art, they're just like, dude, I have to have that. And, you know, hey, the more money we raise, the more money, you know, for the foundation. Well, our goal is 6,000 and I think we're going to hit it no problem. Anything that we don't, the Shanka wheelchairs is going to come up with. So we will be giving away a wheelchair off of this auction. Of course, it'll be custom built for that child. So now I'm going to be putting out send in your application because this is a full ride grant for somebody to be able to get a piece of equipment that they need and not cost them anything.
Wow. So like you kind of ratcheted it up because to your point, you throw an event. I know you guys did that back in November of 2017. And like you said, there's a lot of expenses. So you kind of said, hey, let me try to refocus and say, what can we do to maybe raise more because it's going for such a great cause. So that's good. Now, Corey, how excited are you to have that partnership there? I know the Mahaneys have had a long-standing kind of relationship with the custom automotive scene for many, many years. And how awesome is it for a second-year show like Mini Truck Showdown to be able to partner up with that, man?
Oh, dude, it's outstanding. I mean, I know that if Sean was still around, he would want this. You know, I mean, we all know Sean was an OG mini trucker from back in the day. You know, he had a hand in Crew Cut, like I mentioned in the last time that we talked, that Dave Schulman owns now. And you know, this is something that wasn't only passionate to Sean, but it's also passionate to Donna. And when they approached me about it, I was like, well, I'm sure we could figure something out. And I kept pondering the idea. And then finally, I'm just like, you know what? We're going to go with this. Screw it. Why not? Start getting your stuff together, get your pieces together. I'll give you an area where you can set up. You know, I'll get you a tent that you guys can be under and you guys are cool to go. Just, you know, promote it and make sure that it actually happens. So literally within like 24 hours, and Donna knows this as well, it was blown up all over social media. It was blown up all over Facebook, Instagram. And like they said, they've been pulling in stuff from everybody across the country. And it's pretty amazing to see the amount of support that everyone's been giving the Sean Mahaney Foundation. I myself, I hope the auction goes off smooth. I know there's a couple of items that I'm probably going to bid on.
Yeah.
You know, because I've been kind of getting the sneak peek of certain items. So, you know, I might bid on a couple of things, but other than that, I mean, it's all going to a good cause. I mean, we don't want to see any kid suffer. I mean, that's the one thing that's hardest for parents is seeing their child suffer or seeing their child not be able to do the same things that other kids can because they do have a handicap. And what Donna's doing and what Sean was doing to begin with is completely voiding out that feeling that a parent should have. You know, if a kid can go out to a skate park with a badass wheelchair, you know, and do the same stuff that everybody else out there on boards can, hell, why not? You know, and that's where it comes down to. It's all about the kids. It's not just about, you know, us as adults. You know, they're the future generation of who we are now.
Well said. And Donna, like, what would be one key goal that you and the folks that you're kind of partnering with, you know, what's one key goal that you guys have?
Basically is to, you know, make everybody happy. Is that even possible?
I know, right?
You know, I mean, we have, you know, just such a wide variety of stuff that was donated, from hydraulic stuff to, you know, full air ride suspension stuff to, you know, the shirts and hats and original art pieces and skate decks and the whole bit. You know, there's something for everybody there. Somebody's going to say, hey, you know what, I need that. That's a great gift for a family member or whatever. And, you know, and I'm hoping to get, you know, people to, you know, open their pockets a little bit and at least know that they're donating to a good cause as well as, you know, getting something really cool in exchange for it. You know, people taking the time to donate this stuff, and every company guy that we've talked to that's said, hey, you know, what can we do to help? You know, that just blows me away because they don't have to, but they want to, you know, and the big main reason for it is because they know what it's going to be doing. And, you know, I can't wait to show off the chair that some kid gets. You know, of course, the, you know, Shanko Wheelchairs is going to be building the chair because ours are better than everyone else. You can't, you know, you can't deny compare that. But you're right. You can't compare. We're different in a lot of ways, but it's a great feeling to, you know, every time I think, God, why am I still doing this? It's, you know, sometimes it's heartache and pain in the butt, but I get my next round of kids through, or, you know, or some, you know, I have customers that, you know, whether they're in a horribly crappy chair now and I'm going to get them outfitted better, I see, you know, the desperation in the parents' face and that new smile that's just entrapped into the kid's face. And I go, okay, this is why I'm doing this. So I can't stop, you know. It's hard sometimes because I know what it meant to Sean, and this, every bit of cars that he ever built in his life, he never got the feeling from those owners as he got when he was building wheelchairs for kids. Never. He goes, it's not even in comparison. He goes, the feeling is so much better. My end result to them means something to them personally. And, you know, a lot of times celebrities are, you know, when he worked at West Coast and stuff, you know, celebrities came in and had, you know, crazy, stupid stuff. And he's like, you know, nobody cares. They're just throwing a bunch of money around and going, oh, this is cool. But you give somebody a wheelchair that sets them free, there's nothing you can do to replace that feeling.
Yeah, it's hard to even, you know, think of a response because it's just such a good message that you just kind of reinforced. And one thing I wanted to kind of ask, and the listeners may be thinking, is when you kind of delve into this foundation, right, there's a lot that goes behind it. Are you kind of having to learn some of those things, like with I forget if it's a 501c that you mentioned, and there's probably a lot that you got to learn, right?
Oh, there is. You know, we're a complete nonprofit, 501c, and, you know, luckily I have a friend of mine that was really good at setting that stuff up. So we got that stuff set up. I think, I want to say he passed in September, and we had our foundation registered in October. So it was we got on that right away. We had no doubt this is what we wanted to do, and we did not waste a moment getting into it. It's something you just have to build upon and get going on it. People donate stuff and things, and we've used the foundation with what money we've been able to raise so far, for refurbishing people's chairs and making them safer for them, making them newer for them, fixing them, and rehashing and getting chairs out to kids that we had one kid from China that the parents had just adopted, and you would have cried if you would have saw what he was using. And we ended up refitting a chair for him, and and the parents, the look on their face when we're like, no, there's absolutely no charge at all, here you go, and they're like, what? They couldn't believe it, and it was like, no, I'm happy to do this, because the smile on that kid's face is worth it 10,000%.
Well, to me, although it's not easy, I think it's important to see the positive in everything. In the positive light that I see here is like with Sean's untimely passing, really the vision that you guys had and the work that Sean was doing. I know you were a big, part of that as well. It's being carried on to kind of a new pasture, so to speak. And I just think it's amazing that I remember early on after the tragedy, you had mentioned that, hey, I'm going to keep it going. And in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, this is great. But I was wondering, I was like, man, how is she going to do it? And I didn't think much about it because I knew that you guys were going to, but to hear that you have had the pedal down and you're like, hey, we're going to still keep it going. I mean, it means a lot. And, we definitely appreciate the updates because to your point, it's been about 2.5 years since we lost Sean.
Yeah, I'm aware of it daily. I really am. I'm, meeting and getting together and marrying Sean Patrick. It's kind of odd, Sean and a Sean. So I was like, I didn't name him, so I can't be responsible for that. But I tell you, he is like one of my biggest supporters, and he absolutely stands behind, everything we do here with the company, with the foundation, everything. He is, if I'm feeling down or blue, he's right there. He's like my biggest cheerleader. I don't know how I could, do it without him. And I know he was sent to me for a reason. But, I keep going, and I just, but I tell you, I think about him every day, and it's super important what he did, and I know how he felt about it, and, I gotta keep doing it because it was worth it, every second of it.
Yeah, definitely, and we got to see you out there doing some tricks on these things now, right? I mean, we got to, maybe get you in a half pipe.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
because
not.
Corey didn't want me to say.
No idea.
Corey, you are bringing a half pipe in, right? And Donna was going to do like a triple backflip.
Oh yeah. I had a customer's chair where I was like, oh, I'm going to do a wheelie in this thing. You know how hard I hit the ground? Oh, it hurt so bad. So I was like, yeah, I'm done with that. So yeah.
Corey, you have your insurance going good for the show, right, buddy? You got your insurance all locked in for the show.
Yeah.
What's funny is that you mentioned that, Jason, and I just had the BMX performance stunt bikes company reach out to me. So, I mean, hey, you never know. They might let Donna go down a half pipe.
Please, God, no.
Right. She's like, time out.
I will pay some money to not do that.
I don't know a lot about it. I'm going to an event in a couple weeks where they're doing something here locally. My buddy was like, hey, I went last year, you should come out. And there's going to be, and he showed me the video from last year. There's kids on skateboards that they have no legs, and they're just, they're kind of on long boards, and they're just going down like these little skate parks, and there's kids in wheelchairs.
Oh yeah. Those adaptive skaters are hardcore, man. Don't get in their way.
And what my thought was exactly, my thought is, I love the X Games, and who would have ever thought 20 years and all that's done. But, I don't know if there's a lot of events that go on, but I mean, I could almost see, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like in the Olympics, they got the Special Olympics, you could almost like foresee if this stuff's not already a part of those kind of events, then, I mean, I see it in the future, because, I mean, the stuff that the kids are doing on the wheelchairs, and Sean talked about it a couple years ago. I went out and looked at some of the videos, and I just could not believe what these guys and the girls are doing.
Oh yeah, they're crazy. I mean, and half of them will say, the funniest thing I always thought, they're like, well, I'm already paralyzed. So, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
but safety equipment and good luck. Yeah. But, you have to have a sense of adventure to even get into that. And the sense of adventure isn't enough, though. You have to have the equipment. So if you put those two things together, we got some kids that are just doing some outstanding, badass stuff. And I mean, from backflips to, some serious launches that are just, to me, they as a mom, they make my heart just kind of almost stop. But, as somebody that makes their equipment, I just go, okay, did you bend anything? Okay, you didn't. Great. Let's keep it going. Let's try it again. Are you hurting? So yeah, it's actually, it's quite phenomenal. And I mean, I've got kids as young as 7 and 8 that are doing stuff that some of the, a lot older kids, they look at them and go, those kids are crazy. I'm like, yeah, they sure are. So yeah, it's, the word inspirational is lame. I hate that word, but I tell you, these kids make you go, okay, I'm going to get up off my butt now and do some work. Cause if they're doing this and everything else they deal with on a daily basis and they're getting scratched up and, bleeding, and they get back in their chair and they do it again. And I'm just like, okay, I have no excuse whatsoever. I don't care if my leg hurts or my back hurts. Just keep going. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, on HBO Sports many years ago, I saw a guy that older. I think he was like probably in his early 60s, and he had a forget if it was a son or a grandson, and the kid was, I mean, he couldn't move at all really. He was just bound to a wheelchair, and he just kind of was just couldn't do much of anything. And when this guy, he does these triathlons, and when he does them, he takes his son with him, like he pushes him and. And he swims in the boats and he puts them in. It's just, dude, the crazy stuff. So when I see a guy like that can do, he's going, hey, I'm doing all this. It kind of makes me on some of the days where I'm going, I don't know if I want to get up. It's like, hey, get your ass up, because there's people out there that got a lot tougher and they're doing amazing stuff. So it, to your point on it, it's almost like it's inspiration, to use that word, but it kind of gets the fire going inside you.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely kick me in the butt on a daily basis if they could, yeah.
Yep, definitely. Now, Corey, when I go to minitruckshowdown.com, it looks like, the website has continued to be kind of refreshed and updated. You've got everything from the show artwork out there, but you also have, like, under event information, a lot of key details out there. What are a couple key things that you would want the showgoers to know? It's like, as a promoter, there's probably a couple things you just don't want people to do, or you just want them to know. Maybe this is one of the key rules for them to abide by. So what would that be?
Well, we've discussed this in great detail. A few of the main things is no burnouts, no dragging, no revving your engine. This isn't a performance street truck event. We're not the burnout scene. We're mini truckers. Granted, yeah, we all do some dumb stuff from time to time. But in order for us to keep the venue, we have to abide by what the venue is requesting us not to do. Now, if it does happen, it's an immediate out with no refund. Last year we had a couple of burnouts and a couple of vehicles dragging. And, I mean, it was kind of one of those things where the first year show we told them, hey, don't do it again, and they stopped. That was okay. But this year we're not taking any chances. We're not double guessing it. We're not going to sit here and be like, oh, you were bad, go sit in your corner. No, it's you were bad and now sorry, but you're going to have to leave the event. The reason why is because last year the fair let us get away with a couple of things and didn't really charge us too much for damages that were done. But this year they're watching us like a hawk because we know the ground rules now. We know what they're expecting along those lines. So, other than that, just respect the rules of what we ask of everybody. I mean, if you're doing something you probably shouldn't and you're caught, well, that's technically on you. We're all adults. As of normal, no weapons, no firearms, no knives, no glass bottles at all You are allowed to bring liquor in a glass container, because liquor is a little bit harder of a glass to break, like your Jack Daniel's bottles and things like that. But no glass beer bottles, period. If you do, we will confiscate them at the gate, and you will get them back at the end of the event. Other than that, I mean, that's really the do's and don'ts.
Are caged animals allowed?
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
because all mini truckers were out at that point, right? I mean, we're all little animals in this, so
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, once we're inside of a cage, we're done. But yeah, no, we have a no animals policy unless it is an actual service animal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you do bring an animal and it does not have a vest, a service animal vest, you will be asked to remove the animal from the premises. Now, if you do bring a dog out, say it is like a service animal, golden retriever, or whatever you have, and we ask to see the paperwork for the dog, those are things that you're supposed to carry on you as a person to prove that it's actually a service animal. So just be forewarned that if you do bring a service animal out, we do have to ask you to make sure that it is a proper service animal, because we had somebody bring one in last year and we had to ask them to leave because they did not have the proper paperwork.
Yeah, and a lot of those rules are on the venue that you're using, right? So, what I would tell people is like, look, don't hate the people putting on the event. There's rules to abide by, and it's like, hey, kind of just walk that, that line. Don't step across it. And then when we had like Lonnie and Radar on talking about Lone Star Throwdown, we kind of hit on some key things as well, and I think you hit on some of those, like no burnouts and whatnot. But I always tell the mini truckers out there, man, a lot of times there's a lot of places to throw your trash away. Some of the clubs, I know we've done it before, we'll bring like big black garbage bags, like one or two, kind of the contractor bags to throw all your, trash in. And I would reinforce that as well, try to keep it clean because it really helps the staff, right, Corey? So that at the end of the event, you guys aren't there extra hours picking up crap.
Oh, yeah. Last year, I mean, we had minimal trash last year, and I was actually really surprised with how well everybody kept their campsite. I mean, we have over 200 trash cans that are throughout the full facility, and then the fair staff actually takes out the trash bags during the day and replaces them for us. At the end of the event on Sunday is when we have to go through and do our final. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things, just make sure that your site is clean, make sure that all your trash is thrown away, leave your campsite and your club's area the way you got it. If it's clean, leave it clean. That's all we ask.
Yep, makes sense. Fair enough. Now, I wanted to kind of go back, Donna, and reinforce that I know there's probably a couple methods that people could get more information about the foundation. So can you give out that information or anything you want to share there?
Sure, absolutely. Our foundation website is seanmahaney.org. That kind of gives some information. I'll be posting some auction information on there as well. There will be an auction online available going on simultaneously with our live auction. It'll be a silent auction type where you're going to be able to put down your bid and go on. We're starting at 10 a.m. with the auction stuff available. So as of 10 a.m. on Saturday the 15th, it'll be open to go, and I believe we're shutting down the auction at no. I think we're shutting down the auction at 2:30. I don't have the exact time on that right here, but then all bids will be stopped at that time, and then we'll be able to announce that. We certainly don't want to, have things overlapping with the other parts of the show, with the limbo contest and all that. So we're trying to, give people plenty of hours while they're walking around the show to be able to come over and, check things out and bid as well. We're going to be posting everything that's available, on the auction to the page as well. So, if you're part of the foundation page on Facebook, that you can certainly, follow along and get the links to go to the live auction if you're, out of the state and you still want to bid on things.
Very cool.
And if you're not following the page already, be sure to, because all your friends are. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because it's on
Right?
Facebook too, right? You give it a thumbs up.
Yep. It's the Sean Mahaney Foundation page. Just follow that page. And we had noticed that it was like, we don't really have as many followers on there. So we're sharing things off to other pages, and people are like, oh, why am I not following this page? And it's like, yeah, duh, why aren't you? So yeah, we'll get them on there. There's, if you just want to make a donation straight through, there's also a link on the foundation website to, make a straight donation if you wanted to do that. It's always more than welcome. Besides this, we're also always raising money to supply sports wheelchairs to some of the camps that our kids go to and, frequent or even work at. A lot of them volunteer at these camps as well too, wheelchair sports camps and such. And, this is like week-long, time for these kids to get around other kids with their same abilities and, learn how to play different sports and, what they can do. And a lot of times this has launched kids into being a hell of a lot more active and just also, bonding a lot more friendships. So it's all stuff that's, super uber important to us. And I know the camp that Trinity goes to every year in July in Santa Barbara, that was our first wheelchair we ever built was her sports wheelchair for that camp. And that's what got us started because, again, there was no wheelchairs that fit her exact size. She was tiny, and it was like, the other chairs were kind of adult-sized chairs and bigger. And so she was kind of, not really enjoying the basketball sport as much because she was kind of fighting the chair the whole time. So we threw one together for her in a weekend and took it to camp with us. And everybody kind of lost their mind on it, like, well, make me something. And so that's how businesses start, right?
Yeah, it is. It's mind blowing. Real quick, I wanted to ask you, or kind of mention on the website, Sean Mahaney, that's SEAN, Mahaney.org. You had some of the crew cut small prints; those kind of sold quick. Those were like a neat thing. You got some pretty cool stickers on here. So I would tell everybody, go out there and check it out, support the cause. And how about, did Sean ever say anything about 2.5 years ago? We were conversing back and forth, and I think he had built a wheelchair, which it wasn't for someone with a disability, but he had built one for the really popular, hip hop artist, rapper, if you will, 2 Chainz. And I think he went and he delivered it somewhere in Arizona, and he had sent a few photos. I think he posted those. But did he ever say, did he get to meet 2 Chainz, or was he was the dude blown away?
We did.
Okay.
Me and him went and delivered that chair, and it was, that accident happened to his knee and ankle, and so this was his tour was just about to start. This was an emergency thing. He needed, fast. And of course, he wanted it to be, to match his trap tour at the time. And I thought, first of all, I went, who's 2 Chainz? Because, I'm like, not that cool. And Sean's just like, just trust me on this. And I was like, oh, okay, so we hammered it together and got it all done. And we hand delivered it to them in Arizona. And I'll have to tell you, he's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet.
Cool.
We did not know what we were going to be going into and what to expect. His whole entourage is there, and him, and man, he is the nicest, richest guy I've ever met in my life.
Right.
But
that's cool. I was hoping that he was so cool about that stuff.
Oh yeah, he was totally cool. He loved it, and I'm sure it's something that's going to stay in his collection or is put up somewhere. Of course, he's all healed up and great. And after it was probably almost through the tour that he used that chair the whole time because his knee was he messed it up pretty good. But surgery and everything else, I'm sure he's back up doing his thing again. So.
Well,
it was just a temporary fix for him, but he was going on tour and he couldn't cancel his tour. Most everyone else would have, and he said, "Nah, I can't do that."
That's money. Yeah, he's a successful guy. I haven't followed his career as much, but I got a buddy locally here that works closely with a place called Magical Butter, and they're a real successful company, and they even had him on there, and he showed me the video the other day, and I was like, man, it was pretty crazy, and he's all into this, like the most expensive things ever. And they had given him a magical butter, and it was all gold. That was like his color and all that stuff. So he's definitely a successful guy. A lot of people say he's a real smart guy and stuff. So, I think he definitely knows how to play to what people want and market.
And that's he's great at marketing himself. And you know what, all power to him. But he's generally the nicest guy I've ever met. And we were blown away because we were just like, wow, that is like such a cool guy, Yep. Yeah, we had done some stuff for some other rappers before, And boy, they were not nice. They were every bit of what you thought they would be like, so it was like, hey, okay, it is what it is. And, he knocked it out of the park, building him something that, nobody else could build him. So he totally dug it. And I hope to, know that he still got it somewhere.
Excellent. Well, Corey, I also wanted to hit on, again, on the website, minitruckshowdown.com. You've got the artwork. We've talked about it. You got Brad's excursion. Brad came on and helped us kind of with the 2019 Best of Review. You also have Carl's S10, the famous, just awesome Star Wars themed truck. But you also have on here, hosted by, it's Shattered Images, right? And that's an old school club, but that's who you're a part of. And my understanding is Donna also a part of that, Corey?
Yeah. So last year we didn't have anything hosted by. It was just a group of all of our friends. I mean, I was in the club with my buddy Gary Keller, who's the main re-founder of the chapter in Bakersfield now. And I was like, you know what? Why don't we make this a club event? And me and him started talking, and he was like, that'd be pretty cool, And I was like, all right, well, this is what we'll do. So we started rapping about it, and before Sean and Donna came in, they originally talked to me about just doing the foundation. So we got together, we had a meeting about that, and then Sean's like, what do I got to do to be a part of you guys? And I'm like, wait, what? And yeah. he was like, yeah, I like what you guys are doing. He's like, you guys are cool. We all click, we all get along. I was like, well, let me talk with Gary and our other council member, John, because we don't run our club like a regular club. We don't have club dues. We don't have a president. We don't have a VP, like 90% of the clubs out there. We run it as a council. And there's 3 main council members that make the decision for what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. If we don't have the majority, well, then there you go. But so we started talking, and come to find out, we made a deal with Sean, and Sean was already pushing stuff for the Sean Mahaney Foundation. Mm-hmm. But not only that, I mean, he was pumping stuff for the show left and right. He was hitting up people for, goodie bag items and some raffle prizes and stuff. And, Sean has been a huge help this year. It's taken a load off my back, because with me being out here on the road, being a truck driver driving for CR England, I can't do all those things that I used to do. I can't make the phone calls 24/7. I can't meet with these people face to face. And that's where Sean came in. I'm like, you know what? He's a good match. And so, just shortly after Sean and Donna petitioned, we decided to just make them full-fledged members. I mean, Sean was putting in work before he was even a member of the club.
Wow.
I mean, before they even petitioned. So, I mean, it was kind of a godsend that he reached out and said, hey, I want to help. I want to be a part of this. And I was like, all right, well, and Donna can vouch for this. I tend to take everything on my shoulders. I tend to do it by myself. And this year she's like, you need to delegate. You need to delegate. You need to delegate. I'm like,
yeah, he's trying to drive himself crazy is what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
I was
I've been there.
Fine.
Yep.
Fine. Sean, do this for me. Get this done for me. Sean, do this for me. And he was like, you're making me go insane. Stop.
Yep. No, that's
so. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's how Sean and Donna got tied in with us. I mean, and then doing stuff with the foundation, like we mentioned earlier. That was just an added part, and I couldn't be happier with doing something that's giving back to children. There's a lot of charities out there that have billionaires running them, and they're getting 90% of the funds, and the charity's only getting like 10%. Mm-hmm. Here we know that 100% of the funds that are coming in are going to what they're supposed to be going towards. So yep. It was kind of a sigh of relief.
Well, good. Well, yeah, it's a good partnership. Donna, did you have anything else you wanted to kind of share related to the efforts that you guys have going on and whatnot?
No, we're tired.
Yeah, yep. I know you're like
we're all on this last where we got a week and a half to go before we're setting up at the show. So we're doing that last minute scramble of everything, making sure everything's here and making sure everybody knows what's going to be available. So yeah, we're scrambling, and I know Corey's scrambling too. We're getting calls from him almost daily now. So it's like, okay, we can do this, I swear, but yeah, you start to feel your age as a mini trucker when you're like, holy crud, what are we doing?
yeah,
let's keep it going. But yeah, I mean, there's huge, great plans for our 2021 show already. And Corey's always like, hey, how are we going to make this better? How are we going to make this better next year? And it's like, okay, I see great things. This show's not stopping. It's going to keep going and going. And, I think this year, and everybody keeps saying I'm going to jinx something, but this year the weather's going to be freaking awesome. So, last year we had a little bit of mugginess and rain and cold and snow over the grapevine, which kind of scared a lot of people. But this year I think it's going to be some great weather, and it's going to be a good time. Good way to start out, the show season.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would tell everyone to go to Sean Mahaney or SeanMahaney.org, check out some of the gear there. It's going for a good cause. And then correct me if I'm wrong, Donna, I meant to ask this earlier. I think you said that website is going to be where it's updated for the auction.
Yeah, we're going to be updating things available, and there'll be a link available on there to where you can actually go to bid on the items.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
and it will be public. Yeah, it's all public. So, tag your friends and let them know, because sometimes we run into people we haven't talked to in a long time, and unfortunately I've even as late as 6 months ago ran into somebody from the industry that did not know Sean had passed. So it's sometimes people kind of step away from the whole scene, and then they don't realize, that we've lost several good people in the last, 5 years that, are crazy important. So, it's, you never know when you're sharing it to your friends who's going to, finally get that information or be able to get that one thing that they've been looking for.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. Thanks for all the efforts that you've been doing, and, to keep the lives of those younger children just moving ahead and getting them kind of mobile, so to speak. And Corey, awesome that you synced up with some great people. Sean Patrick, Donna Mahaney Patrick, really good folks. And is there anything else that you wanted to share, Corey, ahead of this? Is going to be a post about a week before the show, so anything else you have to share, buddy?
Just be watching out for the 2021 dates. We are moving the show. Some people out there already know what we're doing. We're moving it to better weather, but it's also an easier way for people that are in that crunch mode. They're not crunching for, hey, I got to get this ready for the Mini Truck Showdown. So it gives them that couple of extra weeks for Forbidden Fantasy. So Forbidden Fantasy in 2021 will actually be the first 3-day run to start the year.
Excellent, man. Well, kick the show season off strong. I know it's going to be a great show. And again, thank you guys for your time. We would suggest that you go out to SeanMahaney.org. They have some of the older show shirts as low as $10 if you go under shop, but they also have like the stickers. They have a really cool pin. So if you want to add it to your mini truck collection, support the good cause, definitely go out there and buy some of the Sean Co. stuff. But Donna, Corey, thank you guys so much, and stay on the rise. I was sitting here looking at your picture, I miss you.